Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, September 24, 2025, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a time for change call tonight after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. Got a lot to cover. Want to make sure you're in a comfortable position. Relaxed into your body, still as a statue, and focused on your breath, rising and falling. We live in a highly diverse, intelligent system which contains various degrees of truth. And so not every truth will impact us the exact same way. The bigger a truth is, the more it will expand our reality, and the smaller a truth is, the more it will shrink and contract our experience of life. You do not have to decide what is a big truth and what is a small truth. Your physical body will let you know, or your heart is the best guide for seeing how expansive or contracted a truth actually is. Whenever we discover a larger, more profound truth in this life, a little miracle happens. Everything that once felt hard, heavy, and stuck inside us suddenly becomes exalted and liberated. We feel lighter than air and are filled with a natural, spontaneous joy inside, which flows as freely as the wind. The mind stops thinking, and we experience our own source of consciousness. From here, we see life from a much more expanded perspective, and it can happen within milliseconds. One of the biggest truths that you may uncover, if you haven't already, along your path, is that which is real cannot be threatened, and that which is unreal does not exist. You figure that out. That came from Course in Miracles. Course in Miracles was not composed and put together by human. Now, think about that. That which is real cannot be threatened, and that which is unreal does not exist. Think about this. What is it that feels threatened inside of you? What is this personality, self, ego, or that the thing you call you, which defends itself when feeling attacked or provoked? That's not you, say. What is this little you who has a need to be on guard and protect itself, trying to assert itself, and attempting to achieve something important or worthwhile with their life? And then who is this overly strong, confident, all-important you who compensates for the super small, unimportant you? It's the one who has been attempting to make your life secure by feeling self-important, accomplished, met in deep embrace by their beloved, and all the while is feeling a deep and constant separation from God. It's like two lives, okay? It really is. It's parallel. You've got the material physical you, the ego mind you, that's always protecting yourself and from being hurt, emotionally and harmed, all this stuff. And then you have the God self, which is completely the opposite, which is in heart mind, okay, which is existing in the now at all times, and is it complete at ease all the time. Doesn't get upset, isn't judgmental, isn't aggressive, destructive, manipulative, dishonest. It doesn't have any of that. So what we're looking at is two different existences completely. The one of material physical life, when we enter these bodies, we inherit ego mind. Okay? We don't know that, but we enter ego mind, and then we are educated, directed, all through our lives by ego mind. 99.99% of us are, whether we like it or not, because we don't know who and what we are, and we will not go within and stay long enough to even begin to discover who and what we are. We prefer to do this material, physical emotionality of what? Of the ego mind self. And this is where most of us end up staying, and then we leave the body. And then we do it again and again and again and again. And this is when I talk about, basically what we're doing is we look over here and say, okay, which one of these is me? Is the true me, the real, who I am, what I am? It's heart-mind. Okay, over here is ego-mind. This is not me. This is an illusion created for what? Well, to experience. It's like I've said over and over again through the years in these meditations, is that you're aware of that. You gravitate towards the now. You do not stay in ego mind. You surrender ego mind completely. See, this is when we talk about being, surrendering all the time. You're giving it up. I mean, you're just letting it go. You're not allowing it to control you, to direct you, to influence you, to basically control your life and you, emotionality-wise, until you leave the body. It doesn't work that way, right? But we do it that way because it's all we know. It isn't really necessarily a negative. It's just that we keep the cycle repetitive, right? We do. We are constantly in a repetitive cycle, lifetime after lifetime. Now, some of us are aware of things that, we kind of get to the point where we realize we are real, the gods that we are. Okay? That's who and what we really are. And that can't be threatened, period. Divine perfection. In all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever. It cannot be threatened, it cannot be harmed, it cannot be destroyed, period. And that which is unreal, which is material physical world, does not exist. Anything that changes is an illusion. It isn't real. See, and we've been taught what? The opposite of that. And in this holographic universe, you look at, you're in a material physical body, right? And you touch and you feel and you have emotions and everything, and it is so seductive, seducing for all of us that we fall into it. Especially the whole structure of the society, the civilization, the species is contained and controlled by material physical life through ego mind direction. And the majority of us on this planet have no clue as to any other avenue. That's the one. And why do we respond the way we do? Why do we get agitated for really crazy things? Right? Why do we worry? Why do we stress? Why do we fear? Because we're heavily entrenched in ego mind. That's it. And this is why we experience all these things. Now, after a while, does it make any sense that every lifetime we experience similar things? The landscape's different, the age is different, your existence wherever is different, but all in all, it's the same old, same old. And this is why we continually take this path. We don't know any difference. We bring in religion, which really scatters the civilization into many different directions, into many different belief mechanisms, but also teaches in most cases that that's all separate from us. That's outside of us. There is a central point that we pay attention to, like, God in the sky or God up in heaven. All this stuff, right? Very compelling because it's been played for a very, very, very long time on the civilization. Okay? And many believe that that's credibility. So they follow that lifetime after lifetime after lifetime until you get to the point where you start questioning things. You start saying, wait a minute here. I'm going to back away from the mind and the ego. I'm going to watch some things for a while, see. Because things just don't add up, okay? And some of us will continue with that because we're committed. Others will kind of get a little fearful and then kind of not pursue, not do it, not embrace it. And this is why, see, we become so attached to the physical material. This is why we fear, we worry, we stress, we have anxiety. This is why. We're so attached to the material physical. We spend a fraction, a quantum time element on going within. All the rest is done how? How's it done? It's not difficult to comprehend the paths that we embrace. Okay? We're all on the same path. It's just that some of us take a lot longer than others to identify that. We're already omnipotently powerful, supreme, manifesting, abundant beings that do not die. Okay? We already know that we come into the body. We are not born. The body is born. Okay? We enter the body. We enter the body with no memory. Zero. Which is, I have an issue with that because that is not natural. Period. That is not natural. That isn't our natural state of being. So we have kind of like moments, let's say in this life, where sometimes we go, wait a minute, what's this all about? This doesn't seem to fit right. Right? You know that you're something other than what you are. We're not talking ego mind, we're talking heart mind. And it's fleeting. It'll come in very shortly and then it's gone. And we're in the position we're all in. The cards are stacked against us, quite frankly, because we have our memories wiped coming into the body. We have our memories wiped leaving the body. Okay? So we have this amnesia. And we're seduced into a matrix. And the matrix is very well done. It's billions and billions and billions of years. It's very well done. So it keeps us in a cycle, us gods. Right? And we don't leave that cycle. It is for a very long time till some of us, a few of us, discovered that it is all a facade. It isn't real. None of it's real. That's why when you look at the Matrix movies, okay, and how everybody in one area, okay, is living their lives. They're eating in restaurants, they're going to work, they're talking on their phones, there's the cityscape, the vehicles, traveling, and all this stuff. It's all there. It's just like as plain as the nose on your face. Then there's the real life, which depicts, no plugs in your body, and you're not in a incubator or a vessel where your energy, your frequency is powering machines. Okay? You're existing in the mind. You're living in the mind. It's not much different. That depiction, without the Hollywood flair, is actually describing how we are living. We are living in the mind, not the heart. This civilization has been captured for a very long time to only live in the mind, to live and be captured and imprisoned by the ego mind. The ego mind is an illusion. This entire structure of material physical is an illusion. And it keeps us fully embedded in that illusion. It's very difficult for us to move ourselves out of that illusion. Because what are we going to, how do you discover? You get curious, right? You got childlike curiosity we talked about, front and center. We don't lose that, it's there. And people, well, you're nosy. No, I'm curious. I just like to know. And some of us, we'll go along and we'll discover certain things on our own volition. And we'll start basically snapping the puzzle pieces into place. If you were to go up to somebody who was very ill, right, and you were to say to them, take their hand and look at them in the eye and say, you're aware that you can heal your body right now. What do you think they would do? They wouldn't know how to begin, would they? They have no idea how to begin to do any of that. That's the dilemma that most of us are in. We're omnipotently powerful supreme beings, okay? But we don't know it. Isn't that amazing? We don't know it. All of us on this little blue marble in the outer rim of the Milky Way galaxy, we do not know it. And a lot of us are presented with this at times, and we don't believe it. Because what do we say? Well, if I was, then my life wouldn't be the way it is. Yes, it would. Because you also don't know that you're creating every inch of it along the way. You are creating your life every inch along the way. And I've said many times that we become acclimated to this material physical life. And, some people say, well, your life's boring or bored or it's got to be more than this. And that's all ego mind. Stay out of gratitude is being an ego mind. Staying out of gratitude, staying out of heart-mindedness, staying out of the now is ego mind. Okay? Being in yesterday and tomorrow is suffering. Pretty clear. And you can't deny that. See, this is something that's irrefutable. All of us, know that you get to a certain level of understanding, comprehension. and you begin to realize is that I stay in ego mind, I will suffer the rest of my life. Well, what's the suffering? Worry, stress, fear, anxiety, all right, judgment, greed, manipulation, dishonor, all of that is ego mind, all of it. Now, the good part is that it's a good thing it's there because we learn about all of that. And then in heart-mindedness is the opposite. The now is the opposite of, heart-mind now is opposite of ego-mind yesterday, tomorrow. Completely different. In heart-mind, in the now, you're in deep gratitude. You're gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times, no matter what's going on. This is, like I've said, it is a very detailed, very articulate, engineered, put-together roadmap on how to master the ego mind and move permanently into the heart mind. When you move into the heart mind, you master your thoughts. So you master your thoughts, the ego mind becomes your servant. You're not its anymore. It begins to discover that the peace that it seeks and the security has always been within. And so it goes within. Eventually it'll sit in the back row of the theater, and then you'll look around and it'll be gone. That's what this is, this whole trip that we're on, all of us. That's what it's about. It's about reconnecting, in a way, to our God self, to the now, moment to moment, heart mind. This is where we discover that we are omnipotently powerful, supreme, manifesting, abundant beings that never die. This is where we discover that. This is where all conflict vanishes. Irritability, anger, jealousy vanishes. It no longer exists. Did it ever? So when we're trapped in this type of environment and we are seduced from the material physical side through the ego mind, this is what you get. When you acknowledge that and you comprehend it, and you know that this is not a place I care to be any longer, I will go now into my heart mind and focus on gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness 24/7. I will be in the now. Space between heartbeats. The silence between breaths. This is what we're all here to discover. So, okay, so someone says, all right, one might say, well, we discovered it, then what? Then you do it. You're as free and as wild as you were intended to be and have always been. You discover who and what you are. You're the God. You're heaven. You're heaven on earth. You're the kingdom of God. You are pure consciousness. You're the ocean. You're the planets. You're the stars. You're all of it. You can't separate that. It can't be separated. It's one. All of it's one. And all of us are part of the one. It's this massive, it's a massive ocean of energy throughout the universes, all connecting universes, all parallel dimensions, all beyond and beyond and beyond and beyond. It goes on and on and on and on, infinitesimally. It always goes and goes and expands and expands and goes and goes and goes. Right? It's forever. Well, nothing's forever. Well, yeah, we were taught that on this planet through the ages. Nothing's forever, and not ever. That's impossible, or restrictions and limitations that we've been taught. It keeps us in the corral, keeps us in the gate, in the corral. We don't dare go outside the corral because we have been controlled, manipulated by ego mind. Right? This is the core, the nucleus of why the planet, why the civilization, this species, is so much in uneasiness. This is why. Once you've identified that, you feel that in your heart mind, you know that this is why. That's the catalyst. What's the catalyst for conflict, anger, pain, revenge, destruction? What is that? It's ego mind. Would one who is in heart mind do any of that? No, not even close. Happiness, bliss, joy, contentment, peace, prosperity, abundance. I mean, it's what we are. So you look at the landscapes and you look at everything and you say, wow, this is really rare, though. I can smell the ocean air. Sure you can. You're the ocean. I could climb the mountains. You're the mountain. You're the sunset. You're the sunrise. You're the night sky. You're the stars. See, now the mind is not able to comprehend that. But the God that you are is that. See? You can see how the ego mind keeps us separated from our true selves. And it's, you have the full picture, and you know, okay, so I decide to go here and not here. Mm-hmm. Now, what would happen if, let's just say that this control mechanism in this quadrant of the Milky Way galaxy that keeps us gods incarnating eternally, right, with no memories, with amnesia. Let's say that's lifted, it's gone. Now, that would be a whole different landscape because you would be in heart-mind, see? You would eventually gravitate to heart-mindedness and the now. You would leave yesterday and tomorrow alone. The ego mind would dissipate and be no more, as the illusion it is, and material physical life. You would experience material physical, but on your terms. See what I mean? On your terms. Some would manifest things that were very challenging, and they would know they were challenging with some unknowns that would come in, because that's what they want, and they know they want that. Right? Others would do lighter. It would be a cross section of us, gods. That some of us would do heavier things, and some of us would do lighter things in life. And we would all know that we'd be manifesting them, and nothing would be controlling us, directing us, confusing us, wiping our memories on a continual basis so that we would stay in this perpetual incarnation, reincarnation for tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of years. Doing the same thing pretty much, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Ego mind, live through the ego mind, leave the body, come back in, ego mind's back, and so on. And this, for us, how ask yourself, how long would it take for you, knowing without the amnesia that you would have full total recall memory? How long would it take you to realize that no, I'm not gonna go in to another body, and I've already experienced that, okay? And so I want to experience something different. This is how it would be. You would be the director of all of it, even though you are, but you have no memory of it. So you would be the director, producer, choreographer, actor, on and on and on. But you would have total recall. So you say, this is the life I'm gonna go in and experience, right? And you might experience a life of great wealth and opportunity and stuff, and then say, that was not bad, but it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but I learned a lot. And then you'll pick something else. And eventually, you won't incarnate anymore. You won't feel necessary to incarnate. Okay? This is why the shifting of the civilization and things are coming to the forefront, is that to realize that you'll live, right, long time. You're 100 years old in the near future, but you're a kid. And you're sitting and talking with someone that's 1,000 years old. And they're pretty much a kid. You see what I mean? The whole landscape is shifting. You know why it's shifting? Because we're becoming more aware. That's it. And when you become more aware, you become more inquisitive. You become more curious, childlike curiosity. And so you want to discover things about who and what you are. And so you begin to discover things. You go within. You surrender everything. You let it go. You don't carry any of the baggage. Anything that doesn't serve you the greater good or the highest good, why carry it? It doesn't make any sense. You let it go. You just surrender it all. Right? And this is where, when you live in the now, you've surrendered it all. You're not suffering. Right? You're in joy. You're floating through life. You're experiencing things, in the now, not tomorrow, not yesterday, but you're experiencing things. Why? Because you choose to. You knowingly, not blindly. I join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body. Focused on your breath rising and falling. It is your choice when you let go, not if you can. Making the decision to let go of your problem is 90% of the battle. Making a choice means releasing the past and move forward with life. Letting go is a natural part of life. It is the initiating key in the enlightenment process. It starts when you stop judging yourself and your life and begin to merge with the experience of the whole thing. Make that decision today to let go of any indecisiveness and move forward with confidence that you can choose to take a baby step today towards letting go of your judgment on your life and enjoying the experience more often. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's happening within you or outside of you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.